So this is your piece?
That's my piece, yeah. Yeah, that's called By Any Means Necessary.
Tell the people your name, bro.
My name is Owens Daniels. I'm a photographer, videographer, and contemporary artist based here in Winston-Salem. I'm in the business of portraiture, special events, and contemporary art.
Damn. That's a hot piece.
Yeah, man, that was made during the, we call it the Summer Revolution, 2021, I think it was, when we had 52 days of protest here in Winston-Salem. And I just wanted to capture the mood of young people, how they related to their history as far as civil unrest and civil protest.
All right, well,
That's called the Frats. That was during the Black Lives Matter movement. And these brothers were walking down the street and they were fratting out. And I wanted to capture how unity as far as Black identity and being in fraternities, as far as social justice is concerned. And then what I did was take the photograph itself and I wanted to have more energy in it. So what I developed a technique called painting on. And in 2020, I think I started doing that. And that gives me the ability to bring the energy out of just being just a picture.
that's cool. All right, take me around to the next one.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna get these stories, we'll get this backstory. Hey.
But this all started, this is called Silence. Your silence is my enemy. And this had to do with the civil rights protest here in Winston-Salem as well. Brother was standing on top of a car and he had his mask on and I said, what up? He said, man, I can't stand this silence, because whites and blacks, they were being silenced about what had happened to George Floyd. And he just couldn't stand that. And again, it's a photograph that started out, and then I wanted to develop the energy. I wanted all of that anger. I wanted all that passion and emotion, which is your reds and your oranges and your whites. And then just to make him stand out. So he's in this big gumbo of just color so that you can see that your silence is not his enemy. This is called Badass. This is one of my first paintings. Band was playing downtown Winston. Guy was playing and he hit this note, man, it seemed like the whole asphalt street cracked. He hit one damn note.
Wow.
And I thought, damn, that boy was bad. And I got home, man, and I got it on canvas. Again, it's a photograph, and I'm thinking, damn, I need that energy. And then I got the paint out, and I just look for colors, and I just look for brush strokes. And techniques will make that base jump out just like it did when I was downtown. So I named it Badass.
Nice. The color is popping too.
Yeah, man. It has all of that energy in it. You know, all this stuff, you know, art is just communication. All you're doing is communicating the moment. And this was from the first Black Lives Matter protest here in Winston-Salem. And this young boy, because a lot of people think it's a girl, but it was just a young boy. And he was standing at the top of the stairs, and I happened to be coming across the street, and I saw him, and I ran toward him, and I had a second before he turned away, and I hit him, and he was a photograph. Just like all of these are just really just photographs when I start, then I go into the picture because I think a picture is not just a picture. And again, I developed this technique called painting on. And actually, it came from, I forgot the name of this German artist in the 30s and 40s when he did it. And you know, as artists, you do stuff that you know nothing about. You don't know anything. You don't know how you got there. You don't know why you do that. You just know you need to do that. And so as I started painting on canvases, I just felt this need that a picture is more than a picture. And this is one of the first pictures that I ever did. And I just wanted to capture that young man, capture his message and capture the moment. And the colors, I think, for each one, each picture can stand for itself. Each picture can say something about it for itself. So you have Black Lives Matter, Badass, Silence, Frat, and what is it? I'm like Leo.
Necessary.
Yeah, I'm like Leo. I'm freaking out now. By any means necessary. So we got a good solid show, man. We got a good solid show. Each artist is different. Each artist is doing its own thing. Each artist is representing themselves, their culture, their history, their community, their people. But it's accessible to anybody. Anybody can feel R&B. Anybody can feel social justice. Anybody can feel art. Anybody can walk into this room and find themselves in this work somewhere. Nobody has to feel like they're excluded about anything because it's not their culture. It's America. This whole thing in this room is not just Black America. This is just about America itself. This is periods and times where you got Sam Cooke, or whether you got Aretha, or you got Nina Simone, you got Chris Brown, or you got these frat brothers, or you go all the way back to Malcolm, By Any Means Necessary, or you see a young man who ain't no bigger than the sign he holding. This dude is just all what they call Americana.
Where you from?
I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
How long you been in Winston-Salem?
I've been in Winston-Salem since 2005. So I've been here 21 years?
Okay.
Yeah.
What brought you to the arts?
What brought me to the arts? My mother. You know, my mother, you know, you old enough to remember when we were kids, if you messed up, they sent you to your room. You might be in your room a week, and they take all your little stuff out your room. And, but I had some crayons and some paper, so I would doodle on the crayons and paper. And I took it downstairs one day to my mother, and she looked at me and she gave me a kiss and a hug. She called me her little artist. Never forget it. And she took my little picture and she put it on the refrigerator. And my father was the type of man that he came from that era. Good was good, bad was bad. No in between. No participation trophies. And he came home, and my mother, when we had dinner, she showed him the picture. She said, "Henry, look what our little artist has done." And I never forget it. I'm like a junkie about that every day. My father looked at me, he said, "Boy?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Did you do that?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Good." And I never forgot that. And I've been on, you know, I've gotten all kinds of awards. I've been on TV. I've done everything. And the only thing that I chase is that same high, even though people have gave me everything. The only thing I chase, the standard for me, is I can hear my father in my ears when I do a piece of work. Or when someone gives me an award, I can only hear, "Boy, did you do that?" And I'll say in my mind, "Yes, sir." And he'll say, "Good." And that's when I know that piece of work is good.
Nice. That was good right there. So tell me this. So that had to be your most exciting time of your life concerning your art, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've had many high moments, man. I mean, imagine, I remember getting the Billboard Award here in 2015. And that was pop art, and they came, and I got a 45-foot by 14-foot billboard that was on 52. I mean, imagine you driving down 52, and your work is there. You know, I called my father, and thank God he was alive, and I thank my father. And I took a picture of it and called him, and he said, "Boy, you still doing that? You still doing that?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Well, it looks good." And him, you know, he was very proud of me, and yeah, that was another thing, you know, to be in places and do things, and you know, the Bible talks about, you know, your gift will make room for you. Man, my gift has built palaces for me. It has gotten land for me and countries for me and done things for me I never thought that that little boy who was in that kitchen, you know, on probation from his parents, and my mother would call me an artist, but my father telling me that that's good would take me around the world and do the things that I do. As a photographer, now as a videographer doing documentaries and short stories, and a contemporary artist developing a technique that, you know, hasn't been seen here in Winston before. And when AI came out, I did the first AI show called AI and Me. I did my work on the left-hand side, and then I would do an AI thing on the right-hand side, just to get the reaction from people. What's the difference between AI and a regular artist? You know, so my parents, man, that's my most exciting time. And everything after that, it's like a junkie. Every hit after that, I'm just getting high.
Let's talk about, tell me about what was the lowest point?
Oh, dude, learning video. Dude, let me tell young artists, when you get known for something that you do and you do well, that's good. When you change, that's gonna be your lowest point. When I decided that I was gonna put the camera down and pick it up to be a video or a filmmaker, I didn't know the complexity. Even though it seems like it's the same thing, frame rates or composition or light or these different things, they're all the same thing, but they're not. And my lowest thing was trying to make a short film, and because I couldn't get that good in my head, I would look at it and I know it ain't right. That good would not ring in my head, and not getting commissions, and doors are closed, and people are not recognized. But, you know, I'm that same guy. I'm that same, you know, public art guy. I'm that same billboard guy. I'm that same guy. But when it came to this video, I wasn't the same guy. But I learned this lesson, and I'll give this to any young artist. The best thing I've learned through that experience is that when you are nowhere, that gives you the freedom to go anywhere you want. And now I can, as a videographer, as a filmmaker, as a photographer, as a contemporary artist, I can do anything, because I'm coming from my lowest point, which is nowhere. No commissions, no clients, nobody knocking on my door, nobody calling my name, nobody knowing who I am when I walk in the room. All that stuff is gone. But the best thing I've learned from that is, because I'm coming from nowhere, it dawned on me one day that I can go anywhere. And anywhere means that now, as a videographer and filmmaker, I make films about things that I'm interested in, clients, products, clients, brands, clients, events. And it gives me that type of freedom that, as a storyteller, as a narrator, as an artist, it gives me that freedom that the sky is the limit. I tell anybody, if you got it in your pocket, you can do anything. You can take a cell phone. You can take an old 10-year-old camera. You can take a paintbrush. You can take a pencil. If you on this earth and you have the cognitive skills to pick up something that can communicate, you can go from nowhere to anywhere.